Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to present to you your hosts, Spencer and Laura Williams.
Hey everyone, I'm Laura.
I'm Spencer.
And we are married with board games.
Hello.
And we are here to talk to you about the Exit series from KOSMOS Games. Most particularly these three that were just released right at the end of 2017.
Yeah, they just had, so by now, they've got 6 of these.
Yes.
And we've played all 6.
Yes.
And we have some thoughts on these new ones in particular.
That we're going to share with you. I'm probably going to have to edit out if I ever get spoilery because we want to keep this spoiler-free for you.
Yeah.
So we won't be opening boxes or anything. Don't worry about that. All you're going to see are these covers.
Yeah. So we just want to give you our opinions on these, tell you what we think, how they compare with not only the other Exit games, but the other
escape room
games that we've played. And in addition to that, also real life
escape rooms.
Real escape rooms. So let's get into this.
Okay,
all
definitely.
Right. So they've released 3 in this most recent one. Like we said, we've got the Forbidden Castle, Polar Station, and Forgotten Island.
Yes.
And they range in difficulty. The way they have the rating system on these is from, you can go up to 5.
Yes, they've got 1 to 5 dots.
Yeah.
These both have 3 dots, and this one has 4 dots.
Okay. So on the surface, Laura, do you agree with those difficulty ratings?
No.
Okay. What would you say is do you not agree with?
I think, we did awesome on Forbidden Castle.
We really did.
We got a really good score on this. And it's the most difficult one.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if there's a particular puzzle that you do at the end, and I wonder if that's the reason. I could see that final puzzle being very difficult for some people to kind of put together. And so I wonder if that's the reason for that. For us, we caught on pretty quick.
Yes.
But I could really see people having trouble with that, so maybe that was one of the reasons. But yeah, we only used 2 hint clues, or 2 hint cards. Mm-hmm. And we did it in a little over an hour, and ended up with 5 stars.
Yes.
Which for us is really good.
We're very proud of it. I am. Well, and then Forgotten Island, it wasn't too difficult. We went to hint cards.
Mm-hmm. We used a little bit more.
But then once we looked at those, we went, oh.
We should have known that.
Yeah. And so that one was different. It's at Polar Station, there were some times when we did hint cards, I was just like, there's no way I was gonna see that in that puzzle. And I don't know if it has to do with this is the only one that we did 2-player, which if you are okay with spoilers, or if you simply have never played an escape room game or this particular line, Exit, we do have a live playthrough on our YouTube channel that we did of this. Warning, it is, of course, spoiler, and it's 2 hours long.
It took us 2 hours.
Because there were 2 of us. That's it. So, I will highly recommend you need 4 players. Yeah. Possibly 3 to 4 players.
The thing is, people just see things differently and they think differently.
Right.
And so when you've got 4 brains together, I think, it says 1 to 4. That's absolutely right. You would never want more than 4 because that's just too many people. Possibly
more than 4 is too many.
Derailing the line of thought with some of these.
Definitely. Well, and the way this works, you see how small this box is, so everything that fits inside of here is essentially this size. So trying to get that many people to see these things, anything more than 4 would take up time. Yeah. Which time is part of your score. Right. So that's another reason why I think it's very important to stick with possibly 3 to 4.
Yeah. So in our personal experiences, this was technically the easiest, followed by this one, and this one was the most difficult for us. Right. I know people might find...
But that's our intellectual level.
Right.
And that's because, again, we were playing this one 2-player, and so if we'd had some other people who were able to look at things a little differently, that might have changed that experience.
So that's difficulty. Let's move on to just the style of the puzzles.
Yes.
I think that they really enjoyed we enjoyed the first 3 of these. Yes. And it was I was curious to see, all right, are they going to revisit some of the same types of puzzles that they did? There are some real kind of meta-gamey puzzles that I was like, okay, surely they're going to do something similar. I feel
I
like
think they upped the ante.
they
in these
did.
3.
And I really feel like, again, it's not they may use a similar style puzzle, but it's executed differently. And it continues to make me think that these Inka and Marcus Brand are geniuses.
Yes. So we're talking about the style of puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
What I think is really interesting is that it all depends on if you have to kind of follow the letter of what instructions you're able to find.
Right.
In order to get the right solution from these. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. It's like sometimes you just want to rip everything out and just start trying to put things together. But there is kind of this line of sequence of puzzles. The puzzles are kind of in the sequence that you have to figure that out first before you even get to the puzzles. What
Definitely.
order do I need to solve these in?
Right. So the way that it works when you're trying to find these solutions is there's an answer deck of cards that you'll figure out what numbers what different code you're supposed to put in this cool little wheel, and it tells you what number answer card to go and get. So you'll go get that answer card, but I love this. I think this is one of the main things that's so smart about it, is that it checks you to make sure that you're not just like randomly doing this.
Yeah.
You're not just randomly getting this by just turning the wheels around.
Yeah.
So it asks you, because every puzzle corresponds with a symbol. And every symbol is found somewhere in the room that you're in,
Like
which
a
is
treasure
represented
chest
by a picture that you're looking at. Like treasure chests, doors, locks, they have these symbols on them. So it asks you on the card that the wheel sends you to, where did you see this symbol for this puzzle that you're solving? And from there, there's a list of those items that could have symbols on them, and you have to pick the right one, and then that leads you to another answer card, and then that's where you'll find your answer if you're right or wrong. Yeah. I think that's genius. It's
a very, very neat system that there's a reason why these won an award.
Definitely.
But yeah, so the puzzles all feel new.
Yes.
It's not a rehash of old puzzles.
No, not
So they upped the ante with these for sure. Let's talk about the different stories, the theme for each of these. Do you have a favorite?
I do like the Forbidden Castle.
Yeah, that one's pretty neat. I mean, not just because we did so well at it, but
I like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I love exploring old castles. I mean, when I went to London in college, that was one of the coolest things ever. Getting to walk around in Windsor. Oh, it was amazing. So, I mean, this was super cool.
Yeah.
The Polar Station, I don't know. I was just kind of like, meh.
I liked the story of the Polar Station. It made the threat feel real of trying to escape the Polar Station.
That's true.
There was this threat of your own life trying to get out, so that was cool. And then Forgotten Island, it's
kind of cool,
really neat.
Yeah.
And what's really neat is if you get the KOSMOS app, you can use it with these, and it plays some background music and ambiance.
Ambient music for these specific rooms.
Yeah. So yeah, I like the stories for all of them though, and one of them links back to one from the previous
first set of 3.
And we know that it's going to continue to their next
yes, the next releases in 2018.
Yeah. So that's really cool that these are they're standalones that you can do one and that's it. But they have found a way to make them link, and I really like that.
If anything, whenever you play the one of these, we're not going to tell you which one it is, that links back to those ones in the first 3. If you haven't played it yet, you're going to want to go back and play it.
Right. Yeah, for sure. So speaking of those first 3, if you're going to rank these based on their releases, like those 3 versus these 3, do you have a preference?
It's funny. I said on our podcast the other night, the first 3, but I'm going to go with these 3.
Yeah. I converted
the fact
you.
that they upped the ante on the puzzles. That, in the first 3, there was a certain puzzle that, or a certain riddle that the answer was always in this one particular place.
Yeah.
But this round, they took that and they flipped it on its ear.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate that.
Well, and that says something about them, that they're able to really set an awesome high bar like they did with those first 3, and then continue to build on that. I like the first 3; they're great, and we definitely recommend you play them all.
Yes.
The only one I really like, if I were to recommend one that you check out of the first 3, it'd be the Abandoned Cabin.
Yes.
That was my favorite of those. The Secret Lab was just kind of forgettable for me. Again, a fun experience because these are all fun, but just kind of forgettable. And then the Pharaoh's Tomb for me. That one, just because of the way we played through it, I didn't have an enjoyable experience. I think that one was difficult for me for some reason. And it was fun, again, because it's just so clever to see how these things work out. But all of these I really enjoyed.
Yes, most definitely.
For sure.
I agree with all that. So do you have anything more on this topic?
I do. So let's talk about, on between these and the first 3.
Yeah.
No, I don't have anything else.
'Cause I wanted to move on to comparing Exit the Game to the other
Some of the others?
escape room games that are on the market.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so there are several out there that we have played. We've done Escape Room, the game.
The game, yeah.
We have played Unlock. We have played the. I really think the line is called Escape Room in a Box. More specifically, this one was called Mystery of the Stargazer's Mansion.
Yeah.
So were there any others?
Those are the only ones that we've done.
Okay, and there's at least one other that we know of on the market called Deckscape.
And there are always these independent ones coming out. So
Right, which, first off, that's a super exciting thing that this is becoming a big thing in the industry. Something that's different, one thing that sets these apart from the other games, the Escape Room, the game, is kind of the same way too. These require some destruction. So these are not going to be replayed. You cannot replay them. However, they normally average about $15 a game.
yeah,
4 players. An actual physical escape room, you're looking at a $25 to $30 ticket per person.
right.
And so if the idea of destructing this game and not ever being able to use it again, for your $15, that's a pretty good bang for your buck.
Yeah.
Going out to eat dinner for one person is around $15. This experience for little over an hour for 4 players, tops.
Definitely worth it. I mean, especially if you think about it, you spend that much money for a movie, I would much rather do this than go see a movie, personally.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. But you've got that destructive element of it. But because of that, the reason why you do is because you're physically doing things with the components in this game.
Actually manipulating them to find the solutions to the puzzles. And I appreciate that because that makes it feel more like an actual escape room, because that's what you do in a real escape room.
Right. And that's why I would give the edge to this over Unlock. Unlock is good. We like it. It's fun. But you don't have that tangible, you're putting these pieces together to see how you can make the solution.
Right. In that game, it's simply a deck of cards.
Yeah.
And with those, you're simply trying to figure out which 2 cards go together, and you add the sum of those to find the solution.
Yeah, and the edge that would be is that it's fully resettable, fully replayable. You can pass it on to somebody else. But again, I prefer to have the pieces there to put together, to move around,
to ride on,
to rip up if necessary, to cut out.
Pieces.
Yeah. I just think that's really neat. And so that's why I think out of all of the ones that we've played, that we'd put Exit on top. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Really excited to see what others, the future, what 2018 has in store for Exit.
All right, like we've said, one of these has hinted at what's coming.
Yeah.
And so, I am just so amped and ready to see what it is.
So if you haven't played any of these and you want to get into them, definitely check out the first 3, especially if you're going to start with any of them in the first 3. Start with the Abandoned Cabin, because I personally love that one. But this one, and if we're going to rank these not only in the themes, the difficulties, whatever, in our enjoyment of them, probably would be Forbidden Castle number 1, Forgotten Island number 2, and then Polar Station number 3.
Yes.
All fun, but if we're gonna put one on top, it was definitely this one.
Here, how about that?
There we go. 1, 2, 3. All right. Do you have anything else to say about Exit the Game?
I feel like I've pretty much said everything.
Yeah.
I can.
We love
without spoiling.
Yeah. We love it. If you've got the right brains, not too difficult, but an awesome cerebral challenge to make your brain think in a different way than normal board games do. All right. Well, that's our thoughts on Exit this series. For other things, check out our YouTube channel.
Yes.
The Dice Towers YouTube channel. We'll have other reviews. And you can find all that stuff over on our website, marriedwithbg.com.